Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here. Today I'm going to be installing this BillieBars tailgate cover. So if you're familiar with pretty much any kind of truck, they always come with these corrugated sort of tailgate covers that are just terrible, right? They're terrible on your knees. They suck for pretty much everything. You can't set things on them because it's not flat. So BillieBars came up with a solution, or there are a few companies that make these things, but BillieBars are actually pretty reasonably priced. I think I paid about $3.25 shipped for this cover, but it is aluminum, then with this like marine grade foam on top of it, and then it's got two cup holders. So you've got spots to put drinks in it, and you've got a flat surface for working and stuff like that, and it just looks way better, right? So if you have other trucks, I'm sure the installation's really similar, but again, if you have a Nissan Frontier specifically, this will show you exactly what you need to do to install this thing. It's a piece of cake. It's not going to be hard, but I wanted to show you step by step just to make it as easy as possible. But let's get into installing the BillieBars tailgate cover. Alright, so as I mentioned in the intro, today I'm going to be installing this BillieBars tailgate cover. Gets rid of these, sort of nasty corrugated plastic cover. Sorry, my truck is filthy. I actually do off-road it quite a bit, so it is pretty dirty. But for the Frontier, basically the BillieBars thing comes with two holes that match these screws on the side, and then there's two more here in the middle, and then it's the same on the other side. We just need to remove all those screws from the existing tailgate cover, pop that off, and then we'll lay the BillieBars on top of it, and I'll show you how that installs here shortly. And now that we've gotten the two from the outside, the two from the inside, and then these bottom ones undone, I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So once you've got all 8 of these big screws and these 4 smaller ones over here out, then you're ready to pop this thing out. And I mean, I just pulled it with my fingers and it just kind of comes right off. So that's it. Take that off. Now, one sort of note here is that, once you have this cover off, if you want to, you can tell my truck is a Western truck. It was actually out west, so there's a ton of dust in here. But this, you can see, is actually the assembly for how the tailgate releases the tabs at the side. So if you want to clean that up and grease it, this would be a good time to do that. So now part of the way that this thing installs is, obviously with those 8 bolts. So 2, 2, 2, 2, right? The different part is, unlike the 4 screws that go into these holes in the bottom, on the BillieBars thing, it's actually Gorilla Tape on the back. So that's going to stick to this surface here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit it with some rubbing alcohol and just clean this all up just to make the adhesive stick as well as possible. Alright, so now that we have it all cleaned up, the Gorilla Tape goes towards the bottom here, and you'll see why. That allows those cup holders to match up perfectly. And then these holes should match up. So again, the BillieBars thing matches up with the shape of your tailgate. So like the rounded side on the Frontier goes towards the bottom of the tailgate. And again, it just matches up really nicely. Now, one thing that I have noticed that is just an FYI is there's this plastic cover on the sort of the top of the tailgate here. To line up the holes exactly, I was thinking I would be below it and just butt right up against it. But I'm overlapping maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. So I did have to go up a little bit. And then I'm just visually lining up the holes in the tailgate with the holes in the BillieBar gate. So they do line up. So now that I know that, I would recommend verifying that, right, to make sure you got the right one, just in case they sent you one for a Tacoma or something and you have a Frontier. Now we need to flip this thing over and pull that Gorilla Tape cover off so that then we can stick it back down. Now that I know about where I need to put it, I'm going to put it back in that same spot. So you can see here on the back, this is the Gorilla Tape, which is going to help stick it down at the bottom. And take that cover off that one, do the same on the other end. And then again, I'm going to try and get this lined up as best I can before I set it down. Okay, I can see holes right there, and right there, and right there, and right there. So now I'm going to kind of give it some firm pressure And I'll probably hit it with a heat gun a little bit just to make that adhesive really stick to the tailgate. And then actually I do think that I need to use these Tundra screws that they sent, because these stock ones now, this thing sits up significantly higher than the old plastic one did. The old one had those divots in it, and that was actually where the screws went, so these won't reach anymore. So you do need to use these new longer ones. But these are basically going into like plastic receivers, so they should just go right down into there and work fine. So again, they are also Phillips head, just like the OEM ones. I'm just going to put all 8 of these in here now. So as you can see, it is, you know, far superior to the OEM tailgate cover, right? So I also like that they've got, you know, their little logo in here and stuff. But again, this is like heavy duty marine grade foam stuff that they adhere to this side. So you get some, you know, a little bit of give, but it's still firm enough that you can cook on it, you can put stuff on it. You also get the 2 cup holders, right? So you got one there and you got one at the other end, which I really like. So like if you're cooking dinner and you want to put a drink in here so that you don't worry about spilling it, they're pretty deep actually, and they go right down into the stock holes in the inside of the tailgate, which is really, really nice. But again, you've got, you know, your 2, 4, 6, 8 screws total that hold it down. But again, you can see how it looks. It looks way better than the other one and is a lot more functional than the OEM style. So I'm just looking forward to like throwing a grill out on here and cooking on it, or, you know, preparing food or whatever, or even just to climb up here and get into the back of the truck. It's going to be a lot nicer. So closes just like normal. Pop it down and boom, there you go. Pretty nice. Alright guys, so that was the install of the BillieBars tailgate cover for a Nissan Frontier. But again, I'm sure it's a very similar process for most pickup trucks. I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that that kind of shows you a little bit about the features of it and the quality of it and how easy it is to install. If you have any questions, of course, post up in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. But that is pretty much it. So again, to my Nissan folks out there, thank you so much. To anyone else that's watching, I hope this was helpful for you too. If you're not already, make sure to click that subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos every week around Nissan stuff, around general overlanding stuff, do a lot of gear reviews and things like that. So if you're into anything related to overlanding, camping, outdoors, that kind of thing, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Also in the description down below are links to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I've got a million different channels on all the different major social media places. So if you want to hang out on any of those, I'd love to have you come hang out over there. And then last but not least, there's Patreon, which we do have a Discord where we all kind of chat about our builds and rigs and stuff. We get together once a month to kind of drink beers and just chat, which is a lot of fun. And then there's also the Newbie Overlanders group. Totally free to join Facebook group. Tons and tons of awesome people in there. So if you're looking for a group that is more geared towards newbies, we'd love to have you in that as well. But again, thanks for watching. Thanks so much. If you got value out of the video, click the like button, and we will see you guys next time.